Sweet old time. Should be good here. Looks like it. How many people are in the state? We'll talk about that. If you weren't with me on this one, I'll run through that example again. It's kind of a very interesting example. Let's say hello, those of you joining back with me. How's it going? How's it going? Make sure you get about 60 seconds. And we're starting a few minutes late, but we ran a pretty interesting example when it came to the population of Ohio here. Get all this going here. Make sure my sound is good. Looks good. Looks good. Sounds like the sound is good, which is amazing. Which is amazing. Which is good. It's good to have three good um, streams on this. So we're going to talk the yard sale packet. Yay! Yard sale packet. Just in case there was a little new holdover with this. Yeah, again, anything Pearson. Hold off on Pearson for right now until a subsequent stream. I'll make sure that, because I believe there'll be something said about Pearson, all that kind of good stuff. We'll talk a little more about that, especially because Pearson doesn't tend to be very technologically friendly at times, though it is a very good thing to use on your own, especially. I mean, we during class didn't even scratch the surface with some of the stuff you guys could do with that. The stuff we did last Monday when it came to the little digital tools and everything. I mean, it's like, we're sitting there. I mean, we didn't even scratch the surface with stuff we could do or have done with Pearson. Like I said, though, if we continue that, like if we continue with that, I mean, expect more with Pearson if and when we get back into the schools. Hope everybody's doing good. I'll try to do my best to go through some of this stuff. We'll talk about some information from this yard sale packet today and tomorrow too. Again, tomorrow, this specific time frame. So this specific time frame of this like 9 to 9:30 ish type time frame, I'm going to talk about this packet, talk about information from this packet, this yard sale packet. If that's the case, that is the case, then let's get started. So if we look at right at the front, so if you look right at the front of this, the issue or the thing that we're talking about here is solving one and two step word problems. Solving one and two step word problems using decimal points and calculating elapsed time. Yay, elapsed time, right? All right, so with this neighborhood yard sale, it says to solve these problems, 10, count them, 10 families decided to have a neighborhood yard sale. They put an ad in the newspaper announcing that the sale would begin at 8:30 a.m. and end at 6 p.m. How long would the yard sale last? Now, there's a couple ways you can do this. So I'm going to bring something up here. I'm going to search for an interactive clock. We can always count. Obviously, but we have an interactive clock here. So let's set it to 8:30. So let's set this to 8:30, and of course I gotta have it at PM. So let's get this all going here. There we go. So 8:30. Let's reset. So it's 8:30 a.m. on this. And the question, if you're following along with me, what's up, Nathaniel? What's up? So if you're following along with me, if it's 8:30 a.m. and it's ending at 6 p.m., how long would the yard sale last? Well, I mean, if the time's moving this way, and as you see it counting up, now you're at 2 hours, 3 hours, 4 hours, 5 hours, 6 hours, 7 hours, 8 hours, and And we're going to set it right to 6 o'clock. This will let me do it. There we go. So there we go. Biznos.com. It's a clock. It's a Desmos clock. So 9 hours and 30 minutes. So 9 hours and 30 minutes. I mean, the other way of being able to say this is to say, well, from 9 to 12, it's 3 hours. So it's 3 hours from 9 to 12, 30 minutes, 30 minutes from 8:30 to 9, and then from 12 to 6, that's 6 hours. So 6 hours plus 3 hours plus 30 minutes is 9 hours and 30 minutes. 9 hours and 30 minutes. 9 hours and 30 minutes. Okay. So number 2, Alex picked out a kite for $1.75, a ball for 59 cents, and a bat for $2.25. If he paid with a $10 bill, how much change would he receive? Well, if he, let's kind of sum this off here. Let's off here. Change color. If he's paying $10 for something that is $75, a ball for 59 cents, and a bat for $2.25, we're going to subtract 175, 59 cents, and 2.25 from that $10. So from that $10, I get 10 minus that 175, and minus that 59 cents, and then minus that 2.25 should be 5.41. How much change would he receive? He will receive $5.41. So he should receive $5.41. So what is the fewest number of bills and coins that Alex could receive as change? Well, list them. Well, I would hope that anybody who's handled money, should know that if you're getting $5.41, you should get a $5 bill, quarter. Let's see, what else? A dime, it's 35, a nickel, 40, and a penny. 5 different, the combination of 5 things here. A $5 bill worth $5, quarter worth 25 cents, a 10-cent piece, 5-cent piece, 5-cent piece, and a penny. This should be what you get. What's up, Cadence? How you doing? Figure this all out here. So at the end of the day, the Lee family announced that all items were half price. If the sticker on a rocking chair read $21.50, how much would it sell for? Simply put, if you want to know something that's half off, you're taking that $21.50 and dividing it by 2. Divide it by 2. Just because a little bit of a mental funk myself, $21.50 divided by 2 will give you $10.75. So how much would the rocker sell for? $10. What I just say it was $10.75. $10.75. All right. That should take care of that front page. Take care of that front page. I'm going to move to the, kind of find a good one here. All right. Let's clear the page. We're going to scroll down. So the Galloway family recorded the amount of money that was collected at their garage sale. So Nancy collected this amount. John collected this, and so on and so forth. So how much money did each family member make at the yard sale? I had hoped that you guys can add up these amounts. I'm not going to sit here and add every single part of this up, but this part right here with Nancy, when it says how much money did each family member make at the yard sale? Well, Nancy made 45 cents and a dollar, 75 cents, and 125. It'll be $3.45 for Nancy. And like I said, you can continue on. You can continue on and add those up there. My biggest question or my biggest thing is, well, what was the average amount of money that the 5 people in the Galloway family collected during the garage sale? Average. I know it tells you it down here, but average. You're adding everything up. You're adding everything up first. And in this case, since I didn't add these separately, I'll have to add them all at one time. So 45 cents, $1, 75 cents, 125 plus $2 plus $2 plus 150 plus 25 plus 5 plus 3 plus 175 plus 130, 90 plus 5 plus 75, 25, 10, and 75. Here's what it looks like is 2235. So 2235, and then for the average part of this, you're then dividing that by how many specific different amounts that were collected. So you see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, and that's 18 different things they collected. So 2235 divided by 18, on average, about 125-ish, right there. The average is about 125 that the 5 people collected. They collected on average about 124, 125, depending on how far out you want to go with that. I hope I did my adding correctly on there, but I just want to keep moving along here. But that's what that is. I mean, it's just finding the average. You're just finding, you're just finding the average. You're adding all of this up right here and dividing it by how many specific amounts that you have. Let's see here. And it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 18. So it's 18 different data points. So whatever your total amount is, divide by 18 to find your average. Okay. Let's see what else we have here. What else do we have here? What else do we have here? I would hope that with this elapsed time, that if something is going from 7:07 a.m. to 10:45 a.m., 7 to 8, 8 to 9, 9 to 10, it should be 3 hours. And oh my, that should be 3 hours, and it should be 38 minutes. 38 minutes. 45 minus 7 is going to be 38. So 38. So 10 minus 7 is the 3. So it should be 3 hours and 38 minutes. What's up, Santa? How are you doing? Talking a little elapsed time with this. If you looked at number two, if you looked at number two here with my Ling, find my page I have down as well. So if we go from 10:17 to 1:55 p.m., if we bring up our little interactive clock here, if we go, let's clear this out. So if we go from 10:17 or something p.m., let's go all the way back. So 10:17 a.m. And if we're going from 10:17 a.m. to 1:55 p.m., obviously if it's going 1 hour, 2 hours, and going to 1:55, we'll find that that should be 3 hours and 38 minutes. 3 hours and 38 minutes. 3 hours and 38 minutes. All right. This last little time frame here, let's actually move to the all the way down to the bar graph. So with this specific page, we're talking about interpreting a graph, and we're talking about calculating sums and differences and finding an average. So I mean, those are our goals with this page. Let's just get started. Let's go right into it. So it says read the bar graph to answer the questions. Read the bar graph to answer the questions. And this, of course, this right here is a bar graph. As you know, we talked in a previous stream, we talked about a double bar graph when both are together. In this instance, they are separate. It is just a regular bar graph. Which family earned the most money at the yard sale? So which family earned the most money at the yard sale? So simply put, look at your family on your x-axis here, your x-axis, you are going to look at your family and compare it to the money. No, money on the y-axis. So this part right here is your y-axis. So if we're going to compare, or we're going to say, well, which family earned the most money? Well, we want to look to find which bar graph, which bar goes the highest, which one has the most height in this bar. So if you look at this, look around, you can see, well, it looks like the Felton, interesting name, the Felton family. We draw a line from the top of the bar all the way across. You'll see that they made $300 at that yard sale. So this off. You should have the Felton family making the most money at the yard sale. So then what is the difference between the most money earned and the least money earned? So you want to look at the Felton family since they made the most, and then go to where the bar that has the least height, or the smallest height. And if you look to everything, you can see that it looks as if the Gonzalez family has the one with the least height. So if you were to draw a line all the way across, you'll see that they made $100 for that. So if the Feltons made $350 and the Gonzaleses made $100, when we find the difference, we subtract. When we subtract those, it's going to be a 250. Let's try that one more time. one more time. A $250 difference. So it's a $250 difference. So then number three was what was the total amount earned by the families at the neighborhood garage sale? So the total amount earned, I'm going to clear the screen so we don't have any more garble here. So just make sure you have Felton at number one and 250 at number two. Let's clear the screen, and I'm going to scroll down this slightly. There we go. So the total amount earned by the families at the neighborhood yard sale. Simply put, it's just adding. You're adding everything up here. So you're adding everything up. If the Lopez family earned $250, all this is, guys, just taking a look at the top of the bar. Take a look at the top of your bar graph and just drawing a line to the right. Or to the left, I'm sorry. You're just drawing a line. I mean, this is just one way of looking at it. I mean, if you can mentally see this, then that's great. But sometimes vision kind of goes a little bit odd. So it looks like there's another one here. So let's go across. I mean, that's one way of doing it. It's drawing it across, but I will tell you in my instance right here, I'm going to mentally see this, but I just want to show you that that's the proper way. I mean, that's the proper way of looking at it, is to say, well, the top of the bar graph and draw an imaginary line to the left to match it with the other part of the axis there. So let's look at the calculator. Let's bring up the calculator here. I'm going to see, well, Lopez made 250. The Galloway people made between 150 and 200. So halfway between 150 and 200 is 175. The Browns made 200. We go to the Lees. So we go to the Lee. They made 150. Let's go to the Gonzalez's. The Gonzalez's, remember, we made 100. Go to the Joneses. Halfway between 200 and 250 is 225. Is 225, so you're going to add 225. You're then going to go to the Crockett's. The Crockett's were halfway between 250 and 300, which is 275. 275. To the Feltons, we remember we're at 300, so you're going to add 300. The Paget's, interesting name, halfway between 100 and 150, so that should be 125. And finally, the Chang's, up here, if we draw our line across, it's 200. So when we add everything across, I'll get to your question just 1 second. When we add everything across, the total amount earned is going to be $2,000. Let's see. I see a question. It says, when we're doing these packets at home, are we allowed to use calculators? Also, do we need to show our work for these? I mean, as you saw, if you followed me for some of my stuff here, I mean, if you have to use a calculator, you got to use a calculator. Obviously, if some of the mental math, if you can do the mental math, the more mental math you can do, the better. Obviously, this is to at least to keep your enrichment going with things. It's not like sitting there doing, circumference and area of circles and doing all this kind of stuff to where I'm not like physically in front doing this. But with this, like with being able to use a calculator, I mean, if you have to, you have to. I mean, if you're mentally, checking out, I mean, obviously do something to get it done. And when it comes to the work, I mean, definitely show some work. You got to show some work. I mean, if you kind of follow me along here with these, you kind of figured that I'm not giving you every single answer with this, just like in class. but definitely for you, definitely show some work with this. And sometimes with this, I mean, it's just showing what you're adding up and everything. The idea is to show it is just show work, because all that's saying is, well, you're just kind of copying off of what I'm showing you, which that's not the idea of this. This is to be kind of a supplement of what I'm going through, of what we're going through here, to kind of keep you guys going with everything going on. Hope that answers your question. I see. Like I said, I saw it here as I was going over that. Let me finish here with number 4. So, what was the average amount earned by a family at the yard sale? So, if we know that our 2,000 was the total amount, we're going to take that 2,000 and divide it by the amount of families that are on our x-axis. So we see we have Lopez's are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and there are 10. There are 10 families. So if there's 10 families, I am with 4 different bumps to that. If there are 10 families, you're going to take that 2,000. So you're going to take that 2,000 that they made total and simply divide by 10. I guess to answer your question about the work, I mean, the stuff that you see me writing on the screen would be like kind of the work that needs to be shown. I guess that's probably the best way to say it. Hope that answered it. The average amount earned by a family at the yard sale, you're taking that 2,000 total, divide by the 10 families, and simply put 2,000 divided by 10. It's 200. Is $200. $200 on average. 200. That is a horrible number. Oh, goodness. $200 on average. Okay. Hope it answered. This time frame tomorrow, I will go over more with this packet. I know I see that there are like a skills part on the back and stuff about pair me up, and I think we started talking about the transformations and all that kind of good stuff. Try to get as much as we can on this. Again, any questions with anything, please feel free to reach out. Reach out. And again, any questions with anything, reach out to me over Google Classroom. Send an email. Like I said, I always checking. I'm answering some people's emails and questions over Google Classroom as well as email. Feel free to reach out. If you got any questions about anything at all, let me know. More than happy to help out. With that being said, I hope everything is going good. That will be all for me for now. Stay safe. It's like I said, if you followed me with the other 2 streams, it's definitely crazy out there. I think I did the quick little math problem where I said, if you're looking here and you're saying that out of the state of Ohio, there were 1,650 people that were diagnosed with the whole COVID-19. 1,650 people were diagnosed out of, I think the governor said yesterday that there were about 23,000 people tested out of the whole state. So if you're trying to find your percentage there, if you're taking that 1,650, so if you're taking that 1,650 and dividing it by the 23,000 people that were tested, and remember to multiply by 100, means that out of the people tested, there was about a 7%. It was about a 7% rate. People that were tested that were diagnosed with that COVID-19 issue. The one crazy thing about this is based on this. If you see on your screen, the Ohio population in 2018 was 11.69 million people. So you got to think to yourself and you got to say, well, what was the rate of testing in comparison with the whole state of Ohio? So let's see here. Let me clear this screen. If we're taking this 23,000 people supposedly tested and divide it by 11.69 million out of 11.69 million here, 23,000 divided by 11.69 million and multiplied by 100. If I did that right, that's saying that there was only 0.19% of the population of Ohio tested. Stay safe. Stay safe, everybody, because that's definitely a very eye-opening amount right there. Um, Again, that's the only people that are tested. Gotta watch. Gotta watch. Stay home. Stay safe. Stay safe. Enjoy good weather when it comes back here, just like yesterday. So, with that being said, that's all for me. That's all for me for now. I hope everything's going okay. And any questions, reach out. Here, take care.